New pickup trucks like the GMC Sierra 1500, they're expensive. I mean, that truck with four-wheel drive is a $40,000 proposition just to start. Mid-size pickup trucks like this one offer a lot of the same practicality and utility, not to mention the lifestyle and the image at a lower price point. But that doesn't mean that the 2021 GMC Canyon is a bargain. If you're new to CarGurus, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then you can hit the little bell icon to get a notification every time we publish a new video. We can't wait to hear from you in the comments. Now let's get going. The AT4 Trim is new for 2021, and it is designed to take the somewhat luxury GMC Canyon off-road. This one's red, and it's actually the second one I've had this year. The first was white, not the color I would pick, but it actually doesn't look bad on the AT4. And we would have shown you that one, but being in New England, our first attempt at filming this car got snowed out. Luckily, GMC has been kind enough to furnish us with some B-roll. Interesting to note, if you want an AT4 in a color other than Summit White, you have to pay for it. Black, gray, and tan are $495, and this red is $645. Those numbers don't exactly break the bank, especially if you're financing this truck over 60 months. But still, the fact that you have to pay extra for a color other than white, it's a little cheeky. Big 31-inch chunky tires on 17-inch wheels and an AT4 exclusive suspension are made for going places a GMC Terrain wouldn't dare. And with big blocky headlights, vertical LED fogs, and red tow hooks, the Canyon's refreshed styling looks good. It really is like a miniature version of the Sierra 1500. We're driving a Canyon with the short bed and the crew cab. This one is likely to be the big seller. It's got some handy built-in bumper steps, but there's no spray-on bed liner, and this one is already looking a little dinged up. I didn't do it. A black leather interior is the only color option in the AT4. It feels good, but it's not comparable to the trimmings you'll find in a true Denali, and even those leave a little on the table when you compare them with a Ram 1500. This AT4 has some nice touches, like heated seats, a heated steering wheel, this orange contrast stitching, which I'm sure plenty of shoppers will appreciate, and AT4 stitching in the headrest, so everyone who gets inside will know that they have the okay to get this truck good and dirty. Now, it's not super easy to get comfortable in the AT4, but once you do, this is an easy truck to drive. The steering wheel tilts and telescopes, and the cabin doesn't feel all that different than a crossover or SUV. Honestly, if anything, it feels a little smaller, despite the fact that this truck's hood stands about chest high on me. A standard gear shifter, 2 cup holders, and a small forward bin sit between the front seats. It's worth noting that while GMC has added a wireless phone charger to our test car, there can only be a handful of phones on the market that'll fit in it. I have a Google Pixel 4a 5G, and it's not that big, but it doesn't even come close to fitting in the spot for this wireless phone charger. The dash features plenty of plastic, but truck makers get away with that by using words like rugged. If you have gloves on, more props, you'll have no problem handling the volume knob, the tuning knob, HVAC controls, or frankly, the touch screen. Even with my gloves on, it handles responses, touch inputs, no problem whatsoever. The one thing that really does bother me inside the Canyon's cabin is the 6-way adjustable power driver's seat. It's just too firm in the lumbar region, and there's no way to adjust it. Now, this may work for some folks, but for me, I was a little achy after just 45 minutes of driving on the highway. You really feel those big tires, but otherwise the Canyon is a pretty relaxing truck to drive. It's a fully boxed frame, but it doesn't bounce and shake over road imperfections like a heavy-duty truck would. This engine has been around for a minute. 308 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque with an 8-speed transmission make this little truck really fly. GMC does employ cylinder deactivation to help the Canyon save some fuel, but I would not call this a frugal powertrain. There's the base 4-cylinder engine that comes with only the base elevation trim. It's mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission in the elevation trim, and unless you're trying to get into a Canyon for the least amount of money possible, you're not going to buy that one. I mean, why would you buy the cheapest Canyon when you could get a Chevy Colorado and tick off some options boxes? If you know the answer to that, let us know in the comments section below. The Canyon's trump card is its 2.8-liter turbo diesel 4-cylinder. That one does 181 horsepower, but 369 pound-feet of torque, and is the engine to get if you're going to do a lot of towing in your Canyon. Keep in mind though that in the AT4 trim, that diesel engine costs $5,000 more than our V6. For a truck as rough and tumble as this one, it's decently equipped from a safety standpoint. Keeping in mind that pretty much everything is an option, I am happy to see both forward collision warning and lane departure warning, although it would be nice to see some more autonomous safety features. Now, if you have a kid asking to borrow the keys, you're probably going to want to use GMC's Teen Driver system, which lets you set limits on stereo volume and the speed limit. I know I needed those as a kid. And as an adult. GM's infotainment tech has a well-deserved reputation for being easy to use and reliable, but in my opinion, it's starting to look a little dated. It's a good system, but it's pretty much looked the same for years now. And kind of like when you update your phone and it all works the same, but you know, some things have changed shape or gotten rounder, or a button is in a different spot and it's just fresh enough to keep you interested. That's what GM needs. Some will argue this system is all the better for its simple, rudimentary controls and redundant hard buttons. But one look at what Ford and Ram are putting in trucks makes GMC's luxury claim look a little thin. All that said, I have to compliment it for what it can do. Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, that's all here. We also get a Wi-Fi hotspot and navigation on our test truck. The driver information display is similarly rudimentary in design, but all the standard features that you'd want, phone, radio, navigation, they're all there. In the back seat, you've got 2 USB-A ports to go along with just enough legroom and headroom for a couple of adults. Other than those 2 USB ports though, the back seat of a mid-sized pickup truck like the Canyon doesn't exactly coddle its occupants. No matter how you cut it, the Canyon is going to cost you at the dealership. These trucks technically start under $30,000, but to find one with options you like, such as the crew cab or 4-wheel drive, that puts you over $30K fast. Our AT4 test truck is staring down the barrel at the scary side of 40 large. And you won't save that much money at the pump either. Even if you get a 2-wheel drive Canyon with the diesel engine, the EPA says to expect only 20 mpg in the city, 30 on the highway, and 23 combined. Our 4-wheel drive V6 engine test truck is supposed to get 17, 24, 19, but over 200 or so mostly highway miles, I've seen 19 and a half. Add to the equation the fact that you can get a similarly equipped Chevy Colorado for a smidge less, and it's easy to say that the Canyon's not a great deal. But look around the truck market, and it's easy to say that about pretty much every competitor. Truth be told, these are purpose-built vehicles, and products like that are fairly inelastic. Luckily, whether you need a truck for work or for play, or maybe just because you like the image, the Canyon is a part of a growing set of options that are less expensive than full-size pickups. It competes against other trucks like the Ford Ranger and Toyota Tacoma, and newer contenders like the Jeep Gladiator and the upcoming 2022 Nissan Frontier. Let us know which one you'd pick in the comments section below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time.